Hi, welcome, friends. Today we're diving into an amazing, adventurous Chinese fantasy movie called Snow Monster. Trust me, this one's going to keep you on the edge of your seat. Before we jump into the story, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell to stay updated. Your support really motivates us to create more videos like this. The story begins with a group of scientists traveling through the harsh Arctic wilderness in a rugged van. Their mission is to research the DNA of snow animals. But little do they know, they're about to uncover something far more dangerous. Leading the team is Min, a sharp and fearless scientist who immediately notices something strange on her computer, a geomagnetic field starting to form around the van. She alerts the team, and they quickly send a report to headquarters, hoping to understand what's happening. Back at the company's base, the chairman watches the data, clearly confused. What could this mysterious phenomenon mean? Before anyone can figure it out, the van suddenly sputters to a halt. The temperature around them begins to rise, and Min's concern grows. Just as the chairman prepares to pull the team back, one of the larger team member Jing stops him for their retreat. With full of greedy, he says, "We have been researching this for years." The chairman, though concerned for their safety, hesitates. Suddenly a fat guy informs them to retreat. However, the team is caught between the tension of their mission and the increasing danger around them. Without warning, a fierce snowstorm suddenly erupts, making visibility almost impossible. The van starts shaking violently as something massive stirs in the storm. The team begins recording footage on their camera, capturing the frightening event. The driver spots enormous hand crashes on the snow. The driver looks out the window and sees a gigantic snow creature with massive sheep-like horns rising from the blizzard. The creature strikes the van with immense force, sending it rolling off the mountain. In the chaos, communication with headquarters is lost. As the van crashes, Min is knocked unconscious. When she regains her senses, she opens her eyes to the sight of the towering snow creature standing above them. Welcome to Snow Monster. In the next scene, we meet our hero Li, a daring archaeologist with a knack for trouble, is enjoying a quiet drink in his study when thieves burst in, hoping to steal his prized antiques. Big mistake. Li moves like lightning, disarming and overpowering them with ease before tossing them out the door. He barely flinches as he pours himself another drink. But his day is interrupted again, this time by Jing, a sly businessman, and his bumbling partner, Qin. They need Li's help to rescue a missing team on an Arctic island. Li isn't interested, but then Jing drops the bombshell. Min, Li's ex-girlfriend, is leading the team. Hearing her name, Li's resolve wavers. Reluctantly, he agrees. Qin reveals the real danger, a mysterious chemical buried beneath the island that can alter animal genes. To drive the point home, Qin shows Li a blurry photo of a terrifying creature, a monstrous snow monster they encountered before losing contact with the team. Li, Jing, Qin, and a group of soldiers arrive at an abandoned Arctic temple. Fong, the tough-as-nails military commander, leads the team. Inside, Li studies the ruins with sharp precision. His compass spins wildly, refusing to settle. He spots two sharp pillars and a faint clue. Pressing a hidden button, the ground trembles. 5 more pillars rise, and before anyone can react, the floor collapses beneath their feet. The group tumbles into a dark, icy cavern. In this chaos, they lost signal with the headquarters. Skeletons litter the ground, their skulls pierced by strange, unnatural holes. A soldier tries to light a cigarette, but the flame flares wildly. "Stop!" Li warns. The air is full of phosphorus. One spark, and we're done for. They push forward and find a dead bird. Li crouches, inspecting it. "This isn't any ordinary bird," he says. "It's an ancient species, extinct for thousands of years. But something's wrong. This one died recently." The tension thickens as they stumble upon a horrifying sight. Skeletons hanging eerily from above, swaying in the cold air. Everyone was feared and holding their guns tight. Suddenly, a soldier staggers out of the shadows, his face pale and body trembling. He collapses, revealing a massive hole in the back of his skull. The group freezes in fear, realizing they're in far more danger than they imagined. Without warning, a deafening screech fills the air. A flock of monstrous, ancient birds descends, attacking with razor-sharp claws. The soldiers open fire, but the swarm is relentless. They hunt by sound. Li shouts, "Stay silent." The team freezes, holding their breath as the birds circle menacingly. Slowly, the flock retreats into the shadows. But before the team can relax, Qin's alarm watch blares. The birds return in a frenzy, their screeches deafening. Chaos erupts as the group scrambles for safety. Li spots a way out and leads them toward it. As they escape, Li hurls a bomb into the cavern. The explosion seals the cave, silencing the birds forever. The team emerges into the Arctic wilderness, shaken but alive. They stood amazed as the breathtaking Arctic edge came into view, its icy expanse stretching endlessly before them. Li connected with headquarters while his eyes fell on the compass. The needle pointed firmly in one direction, and without hesitation, they set off, trekking through the freezing terrain. After what felt like an eternity, they stumbled upon a massive shark skeleton, its jagged teeth frozen in a permanent snarl. Near the remains, Li spotted a faint glimmer, headlights buried in the snow. It was the lost van. A quick search uncovered a camera, and its contents confirmed what they hoped. Min was alive. But before relief could settle, one of the soldiers froze in place, his expression shifting to dread. "Something's moving under the ice," he muttered. The ground beneath them trembled. Then, with a deafening roar, a monstrous snow shark burst from below, its razor-sharp teeth snapping as it lunged at him. The attack was swift and brutal. Chaos erupted. "Get to higher ground," Li shouted, his voice cutting through the panic. The soldiers scrambled toward a cluster of rocks, their breaths clouding in the frigid air. One soldier, lagging behind, crawled desperately as the shark circled back. His comrades reached out to help, but it was too late. The beast dragged him under the snow, leaving only silence behind. On the rocks, the group barely had time to catch their breath when the shark reappeared, hurtling toward them with terrifying speed. Just as it leaped, a thunderous crash shook the ground. A massive snow monster emerged, its towering form dwarfing the shark. With a savage roar, the creature seized the shark midair, smashing it into the rocks with bone-shattering force. The snow monster tore into its prey, the gruesome sound of tearing flesh echoing across the icy wasteland. "Stay quiet," Li whispered urgently, his eyes locked on the monster. The team held their breath, trembling in the bitter cold. But fate was not on their side. One soldier slipped, his weapon clattering against the rock. The trigger clicked, and a shot rang out. The snow monster's head snapped toward them, its glowing eyes blazing with fury. The soldiers, now fully exposed, unleashed a barrage of gunfire. The bullets hit their target, but the snow monster didn't even flinch. With the rocket launcher, one soldier launched a missile, but the shot missed, detonating nearby. The explosion unleashed a blizzard of snow and ice, burying the team in an instant. The cave glows with dim firelight. Li Qin and a soldier lie unconscious, tied up with thick ropes. Around them, tribespeople chant in a low, eerie rhythm. One of them cuts into Li's foot, letting blood drip into a bowl. Li stirs awake. He uses small knife saws through the ropes, freeing himself. He grabs the leader of the group and pulls him into a chokehold. "Let them go, or he's done," Li growls. Out of nowhere, a young woman lunges at him. She moves with lightning speed, her strikes precise and relentless. Li, exhausted and weak, tries to fight back but can't keep up. "Stop!" Min's voice cuts through the tension. "They're with me," Min says. "They came to help." Li stares at Min, dazed before collapsing. Li wakes to the sound of Min's voice. She's sitting beside him, calm but serious. "You're safe now," she says. "These people saved me. I'm the only one who survived the van." Li wants to comfort her, but he stays silent. Instead, he nods, his mind racing. Outside, The wind howls over the snow. A group of soldiers marches through the cold, led by Fong. "Why are we out here? It's freezing," one soldier mutters. Suddenly, the ground trembles. A deep roar echoes through the mountains. "It's here," a soldier yells. The ground shakes. The soldiers blend into the shadows, hiding like stones. The air is thick with tension, just as the monster begins to leave with loud footsteps. Jing grins. "If we catch the snow monster and get its DNA, we'll be rich. Richer than you can imagine." He takes out a strange gun. "This will take it down. Stick with me, and you'll have whatever you want." The soldiers exchange greedy glances. As the next scene opens, we see a mysterious tribe top on the mountains, worshipping a snow monster they've accepted as a god for centuries. The air is thick with tradition as the tribal leader's wife begins a sacred ritual. She is the chosen one, the only person capable of summoning the snow monster. Among the onlookers is the tribal leader's fierce daughter, the same girl who fought Li earlier. The ritual reaches its climax as the conch, crafted from a great horn, is blown. A deep, echoing sound cuts through the cold air, and suddenly, the ground trembles. The snow monster rises majestically from its icy slumber, towering over the crowd. The leader's wife greets him with a warm smile, as if welcoming an old friend. But Qin, overwhelmed by the sight of the massive creature, collapses to the ground, drawing laughter from the tribe, and even the monster himself. The snow monster leans down, extending a giant finger toward Li. Terrified, Li stumbles back, his fear apparent. But when the monster reaches out again, Li gathers his courage and cautiously touches the creature's nail. Min steps forward, joining him in this moment of connection. Just as it seems the tension is easing, a sudden, deafening blast shatters the calm. Out of nowhere, a rocket slams into the snow monster's back. By seeing this, tribes were shocked. He stumbles, turning to face the threat. It's Jing and his heavily armed team, their weapons blazing as they charge forward. Chaos erupts. The tribespeople scream as bullets fly. The leader's wife watches in horror as her people are gunned down. Enraged, the leader's daughter leaps into action, attacking the soldiers with all her might. Fong steps in to stop her, and the two engage in a fierce battle. The snow monster, seeing his people slaughtered, tries to intervene, using his massive hands to shield them. But Jing unveils a special weapon, a device designed to weaken the mighty creature. A powerful blast from the weapon strikes the snow monster, causing him to stumble and retreat, injured. Li tries to intervene, but Jing's men block him at gunpoint. The snow monster, now gravely wounded, disappears into the distance. Jing turns his focus to the leader's wife, demanding that she summon the monster again. She refuses, her voice resolute. "Whatever happens, I will never call upon our god again." Furious, Jing shoots the tribal leader right in front of her. Tears streaming down her face, the leader's wife is captured along with Min and the leader's daughter. Jing drags them to the snow monster's lair, leaving Li and Qin tied up at the ritual site. But the danger isn't over. While one of Jing's soldiers lights a cigarette, a shadow moves beneath the snow. Suddenly, the soldier is yanked under, his screams cut short. The others frantically search for him, only to be met with a terrifying sight. A massive snow shark erupts from the icy ground. The soldiers open fire, but more sharks appear, circling them. Chaos ensues as the team scrambles for safety. Jing, ever composed, uses his special gun to kill the sharks, grinning as the creatures fall. With the immediate danger gone, Jing turns back to the leader's wife, shoving her forward. "Where is the snow monster?" he demands, holding a gun to her daughter's head. Still, the leader's wife refuses to betray her god. In a cruel twist, Jing fires, but the leader's wife throws herself in front of the bullet, sacrificing her life for her daughter. At that moment, a deep, rumbling growl echoes through the mountains. The snow monster has returned. His wounds may not be fully healed, but his fury is unstoppable. With a deafening roar, he charges into the battlefield, hurling soldiers like toys and stomping through their ranks. The leader's daughter, fueled by rage, takes on Fong, managing to wrestle his gun away. The snow monster, meanwhile, grabs one of the soldiers who had attacked him. Before he can act further, a squadron of fighter jets appears overhead, armed with high-frequency weapons. The piercing sound disorients the monster, and he stumbles in this, but however the frequency was high, monster can't manage this, and he struggles. Jing, watching with glee, moves to retrieve his special gun. Min tries to stop him, begging him to end the violence, but Jing shoves her aside, declaring, "I've waited years for this." In the chaos, Min slips, tumbling toward the edge of a cliff. Li dives to save her, stabbing his knife into the rock for support. Qin throws a rope, helping to pull them both to safety. After climbing safely, Li locks onto one of the jets with a rocket launcher. Fong, still fighting, goes after the leader's daughter. Qin intervenes, but Fong overpowers him. With no time to lose, Li fires the rocket, striking the jet dead on. The explosion sends debris flying, and one shard impales Jing. As Jing collapses, the snow monster, now free from the jet's assault, destroys the remaining aircraft with a powerful swipe of his hand. Qin and the leader's daughter finally take down Fong, holding him in a chokehold. Jing, clutching his wound, aims his gun at the monster one last time, but slamming his massive hand down and ending Jing's reign of terror for good. The battle finally over, the snow monster calms and retreats into the wilderness, his massive figure disappearing into the snow-covered horizon. Sometime later, Li, Min, and Qin prepare to leave the mountain. As they glance back, they imagine the tribe happily waving goodbye, their smiles a warm farewell. But reality hits hard. The remaining tribespeople stand in solemn silence, their faces filled with sorrow. And that, my friends, is the end of this story. If you enjoyed the adventure, don't forget to hit the like button. Thanks for watching, take care, and goodbye.